This is the Acer XB270HA, Acer's first attempt at a 27-inch 1080p G-Sync capable monitor, and it's currently retailing for around £400 in the UK, although I was able to purchase it through eBuyer for a little under $360. This is a 144Hz TN panel sporting Nvidia's G-Sync, and we'll get into G-Sync in a second. If we turn the monitor around, we'll find a very bare selection of ports consisting of a solitary DisplayPort input, as with all G-Sync panels, and a USB 3.0 hub with 4 ports, 2 on the back and 2 on the side. The Acer has an excellent included mount with a nice metallic albeit plastic finish with a very large range of height adjustment, and for those who intend to turn their display portrait, it does that too. Now, let's go back to G-Sync. This is a fairly new technology from Nvidia, designed to remove tearing and stutter from your games to make for a smoother, more satisfying gaming experience. On a traditional 60Hz monitor, you can only display 60 frames per second. If you run without VSync, you will often see tearing. Tearing is where your monitor has to draw a second frame before the first is finished rendering, as seen here in Battlefield 4. Conversely, if you run with VSync on, you will be hit with a small penalty in terms of latency, but also often a drop in performance if your computer cannot maintain at least 60 frames per second at all times. I'd heard from people that you could immediately tell the difference when using a G-Sync display, and they were right. G-Sync works by synchronizing your GPU and monitor regardless of what frame rate the game is running at. In my experience, I found that even when games dropped below 60 frames per second, they felt smooth and without stutter. Put simply, the difference between a G-Sync panel and the standard 60Hz panel I've been using for the past 2 years is astounding. Here, I've taken some slow motion footage of Batman Arkham City, duplicating the image on a second 1080p 60Hz screen beside the G-Sync panel. As you can see, when a tear occurs on the right hand display, they do not on the left, and this, in a nutshell, is what G-Sync does for you. Even when moving around a window or scrolling through a browser, it feels oddly smooth, and I'd kind of liken it to the soap opera effect that you might have seen on 100Hz plus TVs, except here it's a good thing. Now come the downsides. Firstly, as someone coming from a 1440p IPS display, there is a noticeable drop-off in image quality and colour reproduction. TN panels just aren't there yet, and probably never will be. Pixel density seems a little on the low side when you're web browsing or writing a Word document. The glossy base seems to mark up easily, with just a couple knocks from my keyboard being enough to scratch it pretty noticeably. G-Sync is also only compatible with Nvidia GPUs, and you'll need something newer than a GTX 650 Ti. So, should you buy this monitor? If you're a gamer, G-Sync will noticeably improve your experience. If you're already gaming on a 1440p or higher display, the Asus ROG Swift might be the way to go, although the extra £200 might prove a stumbling block when you consider how expensive this monitor already is. There is also a 28-inch 4K version of this display, and if you have the money, along with SLI GTX 980s, this might be the way to go. Overall, I'm pretty happy with my purchase. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll review some more products in the near future.